Now, I know plenty of people don't know the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And people like Gary Aboud and myself, we family was still on the boat, escaping Syria, trying to get somewhere, anywhere but Syria. 90% of the Syrians that land in Trinidad, the Lebanese, the Jews, the Mediterraneans, all of them that come under the Arabs, that come under the catch-all Syrian in Trinidad, none of them knew where Trinidad was at the time that they was running from Syria and all the other countries. Syria and Lebanon fighting war since Jesus Christ was a boy. I tell you all of that to put things in perspective, that we family was on the boat. And the white people who owned Trinidad and Tobago, who had subjugated the Thanos and the, what's the other name of the Caribs and the Arawaks? Anyway, we call them Caribs and Arawaks. Warahun. When they had subjugated them and took over this piece of land and claimed it for England, this is where they used to come to have their horse racing. This is what the Savannah was for. And watch this drain. It's an important drain. Come in the Savannah, no matter where you go, I deal with this drain. And it's an important point to make. And I want you to see this drain. Because this drain makes a big circle. It passes in front of where the grandstand is. The grandstand is actually the paddocks. And the place where people used to go and sit down in their fancy clothes and watch the horses race when the Savannah was just basically a horse racing park. Now, I'm telling you all of that because I want to show you this. Because the North Stand and the stage still there, saving the taxpayers millions of dollars. Millions of dollars under the PNM. Every year they go and put up the North Stand and take back down the North Stand. And this year, for some reason, that didn't happen. And it saved millions of dollars. So, we want to put on the parade to make sure that the PNM don't say that we blanking them and we hiding the parade from them. Like somehow the parade have to do with the PNM alone, even though Tajmol Hossain is the man who wrote the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. But that's a conversation for another time. We will pretend that Sir Ellis Clark was the one who did it. But anyway, at Marlborough House, there were people other than Eric Williams and Ellis Clark that were responsible for Trinidad getting independence. But let's pretend that parade and independence is only for African Tobagoans. I want to pretend in Port of Spain, no problem. But for this purposes, government is having a parade and they brought a temporary bridge. Now I know Gary Aboud, dumb as a post, temporary is a big word. And for him and Abigail RH, which is a Syrian fake profile, call my name in a video. So the government is doing massive construction that's going to contaminate the aquifer. We're going to deal with that in a little bit. But this is what it is. A couple buckets of aggregate to make a ramp so the Bailey Bridge could cross the drain where the white people horses used to run, so that for the parade we could march without tripping on the drain. So this here is some shovels of aggregate that will pick back up and load on a truck without leaving too much of a scar. Down there, about 25% of the Savannah was paved for carnival. So we could wind with Bumsy down low. You know what? I ain't even judging that. Do all your thing. There's one life to live and life passing, and I ain't gonna sweat small stuff. But I wanna show Trinidad and Tobago. Stink mouth Gary Aboud. Do a video to twist all your navel string. Make all you cry blood. Oh God, look, I wanna zoom out. Can't zoom it out. First it's small. All of this is the Savannah. All of this green space here is the Savannah. And this couple bucket of gravel that move when I mash it. It's not stable. They use New Jersey barricades to hold it in because it's so temporary. Gary Aboud, Syrian spokesman, say on election day, he gonna do everything to make UNC lose. Remember him? That one. Come to do this here in Abigail RH, whatever the hell that is. But I wanted Trinidad and Tobago to see that this is a temporary structure that have no way of affecting the aquifer. In fact, Gary Aboud, now that your navel string in your hand and you're twisting it, I want to tell you what affects the aquifer in the Savannah. I'm going to use our next big word. Percolate. Percolate. How the water percolates to get down into the aquifer. The aquifer is millions of years old. It's here since the dinosaurs was peeing in the Savannah. But that's a story for another time. We'll deal with that another time. I know it's too much information. Gary Aboud, that was a post. You wouldn't understand none of this. I want you to see how much Savannah not paved. And I want you to see the couple buckets of gravel to get over the temporary Bailey Bridge. This aquifer is affected by cars driving in the Savannah, compacting the dirt, but it's here millions of years. Millions of years before humans were thought of. And it will be here millions of years after we gone. He don't care about no aquifer unless the aquifer benefits his family. Because he didn't go and do a video when Dominic Hadid and the Pernod Ricard deal, because I remember, I was there, I was part of the marketing team that got Pernod Ricard the land because we announced that they were coming to grow anise in Trinidad and create jobs and put farmers to work and use the county lands. And that's what was supposed to happen there. Somewhere along the skimmy dimmy, Dominic Hadid and Blue Waters end up controlling it. And next thing you know is plenty 100 more acres get Camille Robinson Regis and she bald head, hold she belly and ball hand and water. All that nonsense. He didn't. Gary Aboud and Abigail RH and all the others who tagging me and calling my name never went down by Hadid. Because you see, this is Trinidad. And if you have enough money, you could use blackface and chain up black people. See, the 500,000 black people that live in this country, their job is not to benefit themselves. Their job is to benefit others. And that is what Gary Aboud and Abigail RH and the others are trying to do. Gas up black people. Faris, gas up black people. Tell them prison conditions. People shouldn't be in there. Take your family out and gone. The rest of the black people are still in the jail. Conditions good for them. Don't worry about that. Our conversation for another time. But for this purposes, Mr. Gary Aboud, I fight for Wildflower Park. When your family sees it and put Hawk Aboud Security on duty 24 hours in that park, Wildflower Park, the overflow from this park, well, you take it. And under the PNM, under Rowley, Syrians couldn't do nothing wrong. They could do what they want. Take Wildflower Park and blank poor people. I ain't going to say poor black people because all poor people was getting blanked there. It is under Kamala Prasad Bissessa we were able to take it back, liberate it, and emancipate it. And now poor people, black, Indian, and all, even poor Syrians, I think they have 2 in the country, could go and take their wedding picture there. Gary Aboud, as usual, you're full of shit. You used this issue to try and undermine this government. I want Trinidad and Tobago to see, so please, send this video viral. This couple buckets of aggregate for this Bailey Bridge to cross the white people horse racing drain is temporary. I'm going to show you how temporary. I hope the police and the army don't get vexed. Watch this. See how temporary? They don't even have a retaining wall to hold them. This rests down on the grass. Watch it. This is called a New Jersey barrier. Rest down on the grass, hold it back. This rest down. Look, it's wood. Gary Aboud. Look at wood it rested on. They ain't about. It's so temporary. So Trinidad and Tobago, don't take on Gary Aboud, please. He is just looking for a horse to ride so they can get the PNM back in office so the 1% could go back to thieving out the money. We must have breaks on all this aquifer poison. They gonna kill we. Oh God, they gonna kill we. Gary Aboud, you stinking stunt artist. Where the poison coming from this into the aquifer? Brother. Jackass.